Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Donna, for those of you who are new here, and for those of you who are not, welcome back. I was asked by a friend of mine and also one of my Instagram followers to do a brush video, basically talking about what brushes I use most, what brushes I like. So I'm going to start off by just saying, like, I have a plethora of different kinds of brushes, and most people do. I don't find that you have to spend a whole lot of money to get a decent brush. Three of the first sets I'm going to talk about are actually Real Techniques brushes, and I find that they work just as well as some of my more expensive brushes. In fact, sometimes better. So the first set I'm going to talk about is this eye set. It did come as a set, and it is 5 brushes, sorry. I got all of my brush sets, or most of my brush sets, at TJ Maxx, and TJ Maxx sells these sets for $9, I want to say, maybe $8. I want to say $7.99 is what I paid. And I've seen them in stores like Walmart and whatnot for 20 bucks a piece. So I'm pretty excited to have picked up these brush sets for less than 10. The first brush I have is a brow brush, and it looks like this. I will say I don't use this for my brow. I will put some color on the end of it and get into my lower lash line with color on it, because I'm fairly new to the brow scene. I don't really do my brows very well in the first place, and I am not confident enough to use a brush. I do use a pencil. The next brush in this set is a fine liner brush. Again, I have never used this brush. I mean, it is still very stiff. It is still very white. It is still very new. I've never used it. I do use liner pencils. I find that they are easier for me to use, and I will use like a creamy pencil on my lower lash line, and then a felt or brush tipped, so the two that I have are, this is a felt tip and it's a sketch marker by Too Faced, and this one is a brush tip and it's Mayonnaise by Tarte. Those are two of the liquid liners that I use on my top, the top of my lid. The next brush I have is a crease, let's see, it's a crease shadow brush. It's really hard to read it. And it looks like this. It is just a kind of a flat pointed crease brush. I don't use it for my crease though. Typically I will use it to pack color on my lid instead. Then I have a what is this, accent brush. I will use this for the inner corner as well as carving out the brow bone. And I also have this one that is the last one in that set, and this is the deluxe crease brush, and I actually do use this for buffing out in the crease of my eye. The next set of Real Technique brushes that I have is this pink set. This set came with 3, and it is a face set. So this one is a setting brush, and I don't typically use this as for setting under eye powder or any powder. I use this as a highlight brush. The next one I have is the fan brush, which is actually made for highlight, but I either am not using it right, or I don't like a super stroby effect, but I also like it to look like there's something there, and this doesn't give me that effect. I also have the medium sculpting brush, and that's the last one in that set, and I believe this is for contouring, which I have used in my bronzer sometimes to contour, but I don't contour specifically with a contour color. I just use my my bronzer. So the next set is also a face set, and it is these 3. They're all color coded, which I think is really cool. This one is a pointed foundation brush, and while I do use this for foundation, it's not the only thing I use it for. I also use it for I also use it for getting all over my eye when my other one is dirty. Just a setting shade all over my eye. This one is the Real Techniques buffing brush. And I use this with my Bare Minerals Bare Skin Pure Brightening Serum Foundation. The reason why I use it with this is because this foundation, you shake it up and then it kind of has this like squeezy to it, and you dump like not dump, it doesn't come out in dumping, but you just put like 3 dots of foundation on this brush and buff it into your skin, and it actually works really well for that. So that's what I use it for, and I'm pretty sure that that's actually what it's made for, and I don't typically use a lot of my brushes for what it's made for. So this one is a contour brush. I do use this one as well for highlight. I find that the shape of these contour brushes really work, or setting brushes really work for me for contouring. So the last brush set that I have is actually this one, and it was produced by Royal and Langnickel. It's a Moda brush set. I did get it at Walmart. It cost me I think $15 for the set. I think it was $14.99. And it came with this angled foundation brush, which these brushes are fairly new to me. I haven't used this one yet. It also came with this multi-purpose powder brush, which I love. This is so soft. I use it for blush. It came with this domed shadow brush. I use this for blending a lot. And it came with this angled eyeliner brush. I don't use this for eyeliner for sure, but I will use it for accenting or carving out my eyebrow if some of my other brushes are dirty. Some other eye brushes I have are e.l.f. eye brushes. I do love e.l.f. eye brushes, and you can get a lot of them for $1 or $2 a piece. They are pretty amazing brushes for the cost. This one is the blending eye brush, and it's just a circle, a round blending brush, which is pretty fantastic. And this one is the same. Like, I loved it so much I bought 2, but this one here is a little bit bigger around. This is a concealer brush. I did buy this one for spot concealing to see if I needed it for spot concealing, but ended up using it more for eyeshadow than anything else. I also got this one, which is the smudging brush. I use this to smudge out my under eye color. If I put color underneath my eye, I will use this to smudge it out. I will also use this to pack on like a glitter eyeshadow onto my eyelid, because it's a really dense brush and works well for glitter powders. And then I have a smaller version of those 2 eye crease brushes that I showed you guys already. All the white ones, I believe, are $1 a piece. These ones were $2 a piece, and this is the e.l.f. C brush. It's a really great brush for just packing color onto the lid. And then this is the blending brush. I did get this one to replace this, which is actually my very favorite brush on the planet. It is a Mary Kay crease brush, but there are some pretty great differences with it. Number one, this is pretty wide set, and this is definitely not. This is flat, this is round. This guy is long and tapered, and this guy is not. He's more of a dome shape, and I wasn't really looking at the shape of the brush, which I should have been. I was actually going for what I used the brush for when I bought it to replace it. I love this brush for its purpose, and this one I actually use for crease. which is also what it's supposed to be used for, but I also use it for everything else. It is my most favorite brush. It has fallen apart. It is probably 15 years old. It has fallen apart right here where these two pieces meet, and I actually had my boyfriend glue it back together because I could not make it through life without this one brush. This is my favorite brush. This is another Mary Kay brush. I don't use it as often. It is a shader brush. It does have that pinched part there to make it domed and flatter and fanned out. I don't use it very much. I do find that a lot of my other brushes I'm more in favor to. This was a free brush I got from ColourPop when I ordered some stuff from them. It is just a flat shader brush, and I love this because it is so stiff. Like, I can go in and get color exactly where I need it to be. And then this one is also just a freebie from ColourPop, and it is just a shader brush that is super fluffy and really good to use for blending. This is my new guy, and he is one of my favorites. He is also one of my more expensive brushes. It is the Cosmetics Airbrush Blending Crease Brush number 105. He is super soft. He does have more of the shape to him than as this guy does, but he is a lot thicker. A lot more thick. So I have to be careful when I go in with this brush to do things that I do with this brush because he disperses color everywhere, and this one does not. It's more exact. But I find that of all the brushes that I have, that one replaced the crease brush that I have from Mary Kay more so than the other ones that I bought to do the same thing. Some other brushes that I have are these Bare Minerals ones. They're just little tiny guys. This one is a full coverage concealer brush, but I use this actually to set my my eye primer. That's what I use it for. It covers a lot of space. I like to get it done quick. I typically get ready in the morning. It takes me like 30 minutes, and part of it is because of the brushes that I use to get a lot done in one shot. This is an eye definer brush. It does have that little bit of a slant to it. I don't typically use this brush very often. I did used to use it along my brow bone, but I find that it doesn't really do that very well these days. And this one is a contour shadow brush, and I do use it for a shadow brush. These three brushes I got at TJ Maxx in a set, and they are Jasmine La Belle brushes. They're just real simple brushes. This one, they kind of are cheap. The handle is wood, which is nice, but this guy is real wobbly. This is just a powder brush. I use it for blush. This one is a contour brush, and it's dirty. I use it for both blush or what am I trying to say? I use it for blush or bronzer, dependent on what I use it for when it's clean. So today it does have a little bit of bronzer on it. That is what it has from my Get Ready With Me from earlier that again did not turn out. Like, I need to tell you that is the third time I've videoed that Get Ready With Me, and I'm about ready just to trash the whole idea because the third time I videoed it, the third time it didn't turn out. So I'm a little bit frustrated at this point, but with that being said, I did get a new camera, and I'm learning new things every single time with this new camera. So this is a highlight brush. I find that it is too exact to use it for highlights, so I definitely don't do that. I haven't really used this brush though ever. This is a foundation brush from Opulent Beauty. I have used it in the past for concealer. I have not used it for foundation. This brush is the Flawless Finish face brush from Bare Escentuals, and I do use this with my Bare Escentuals powder foundation. I love it. I think it puts it on really well. And this one is a Mary Kay bronzing blush, I think, or stippling brush. I can't remember. Geez, these Mary Kay brushes are, like I said, about 15 years old, so I can't remember what this brush was for, and of course all the writing is off of it. But what I do use it for is my Bare Minerals tanning, the tanner, the faux tan powder bronzer. The last brush I have is this one, and it is one that I got from TJ Maxx again, and it is just a large powder brush. I love this brush. I use it for bronzer, I use it for blush, I use it for just about any powder that goes on my face, and when I'm not using my Bare Minerals retractable brush for my mineral veil, this is my setting powder brush for the most part every day. Last brush, I lied. This one is my Kabuki brush, and it is by Le Creme, and I bought it just because I wanted a Kabuki brush, and I find that it doesn't fit into my handy dandy little brush holder that my man gave me that I'll show you guys in just one second. But I do love this brush, and I use it for bronzer, and when I use it for bronzer and I'm trying to contour out my face, I will just like squeeze it a little bit when I'm trying to put on the bronzer, so like that, and just carve out my face just a little bit. But all these brushes, except for the Kabuki brush and the big powder brush by Danielle, the big red brush, all live in this, which is this awesome brush holder that my man made me when I first started getting into this, because I had an awful lot of brushes, and that was really my first geek out over makeup was actually over the brushes, which is weird because I didn't have any makeup to speak of, but thought I needed to have all the brushes on the planet. So while not all my brushes fit in that, most of my brushes fit in that. The problem is going to be when I start getting more brushes and none of them fit in there anymore, and I'm going to have to figure out what to do from there. But with that being said, like, we're just starting in this world, so like I don't have this giant makeup room. It is a craft room. It's my craft room slash office slash makeup room at this point. So I've just got myself a little tiny corner of my makeup, and my brushes fit perfectly in that for now. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you learned something or saw brushes that you like, I will have all the information down in the drop down, and you can go on to Ulta and get pretty much all of these, I believe. The only one I don't know about is this guy, because I'm not even sure what Danielle is, and this guy. But I think and the Mary Kay brushes, but I think all the rest of the brushes you can get at Ulta. With that being said, please hit the like button if you like this video, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload. We are trying to do this every day. However, it's been a couple days since I uploaded last because of the struggles. The struggle is real, people, with trying to figure out the camera, the lighting, the everything else, and it's kind of stressing me out a little bit. But I'm hoping this one turns out so I can get it posted today, and we will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.